everybody. I hope that you're all enjoying yourself. You're taking virtual headshots and you're using all of the fun stickers in the photo booth to make your pictures beautiful. I'm so excited to bring our next speaker to the stage. She's the Executive Vice President and General Manager of Platform, Trailhead, and AppExchange at Salesforce. Witnessing the incredible inequality of women and minorities in STEM careers firsthand, it inspired her to help spark the Trailblazer movement by launching Trailhead, Salesforce's free online learning platform. Today, we are faced with an economic crisis, a leadership crisis, and a racial justice crisis. These crises make education, reskilling, and community more critical than ever before. Our next speaker will discuss how Salesforce works together with the community to deliver innovation, break down barriers to education, and succeed in the all-digital work from anywhere in the world. Please welcome, with a huge standing ovation, Sarah Franklin.
Hi, Beth. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thanks, Sarah.
And thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to be here with all of you right from my home to talk to you in your living rooms, in your kitchens, wherever you may be. And today we're going to talk about how we can unlock opportunities for everybody and by trailblazing together. And together is a word that has brought a lot of meaning, especially time when we are socially distanced and apart. Before I do begin the presentation, Salesforce is a publicly traded company, and I want to remind everybody of our forward-looking statements. I may be talking about our company or forward-looking products and make any purchasing decisions on currently available products. And if you have any, refer to our website at salesforce.com/investor. Okay, that's out of the way. Now we can get to the good stuff. And first, I want to start leaning in with much gratitude. Not only am I grateful to be here today with all of you, but I am so grateful for the privileges that I have in this world. And I'm grateful for all of the connections that I have, which have afforded me the opportunity to learn so much from each of you. And I'm thankful for all that you do for each other. Community is one of the most important things that we have, and we've learned that more than ever in times like these when we're challenged with, as Beth mentioned, between crises which span our economy to our social justice system, to our climate, and to our health and well-being. And so community is what pulls us through, and leaning into gratitude is ever more important. And you may be wondering, some of you may be wondering, what is Salesforce anyways? What is Sarah here to talk about with this community of Salesforce Trailblazers? And so I just want to ground you just first real quickly in our Customer 360 platform, where Salesforce is a company that started over 20 years ago, building efficiency and automation into your business, whether it was your sales channels, your marketing, your commerce, or your customer service, and creating a single view of the customer so that when you talk to your customers and you talk to your prospects, that you have a knowledge about them to have intelligent conversations. And it's very important at Salesforce that we're guided by our core values of trust, customer success, innovation, and equality. And transparency breeds trust. It is so important that we're honest and open with our community. And that is really, I think, very important also when we talk about community and how we've come together. And how this leads to just empowered people that we call our trailblazers, people that are not afraid of tackling challenges together, and they know that everything that they do, they can solve problems together. So Beth also shared that I'm very passionate about not just empowering people with technology, and you saw the Customer 360 platform, but really how we empower people to learn. And this is ever more important in times like today, where education is becoming inaccessible, whether it's because of cost reasons, where it costs a lot, or you just can't go to where the school is and you're only at home, and the job expectations have completely changed for everybody. And so this is something that everybody is looking at when how we help people reskill with new skills for the new normal. You see the stat on the screen, it's crazy. 1 billion workers will need to be reskilled by 2030, and the cost of education is outpacing wage gaps by 5x. It's just, there's a huge problem. And the pandemic and everything we're going through right now has accelerated this skills gap. People need things like how to build a bot, or how to do process automation, how to go digital fast and scale these processes and scale these digital technologies with confidence in a way that keeps all of your systems compliant, secure, data scaled, everything that you need. And these are new skills that people need, but how do they get them? And that's where we created Trailhead, because we want to empower people with these skills, bring people to these jobs that are being hired for today, and learn these new skills for the new normal with Trailhead. You learn in-demand skills, whether it's learning how to configure Salesforce technology, or the business skills and tech skills and soft skills you need to be successful in your job. And what you earn is skills-based, resume-worthy credentials. We're also democratizing education so that jobs are looking at what skills you have, not just what degree you have. And we have over 800 badges today and 48 credentials. And we connect you to opportunity from mentorship to employment. And that's the key with community, that driving that connection to everything that you need to not just learn, not just earn, but also connect to that opportunity. And we have 2.4 million Trailblazers strong in the Trailblazer community that are learning, earning, connecting every day. And what I love is that we're welcoming to everyone. This is so important. It could not be more important to be welcoming, to give people a sense of belonging. It doesn't matter your race, your gender, your sexual identity, your socioeconomic situation, your education background, where you live, what your beliefs are, what color you like. It doesn't matter, because we welcome all. And we recognize that our differences make us stronger together when we can learn from each other and learn each other's perspectives. Bring diverse ideas to the table. Help us learn, help us evolve together as a community. And you see here the Salesforce community. We also recognize those with the most knowledge of the community with our MVPs. We have over 200 incredible MVPs in our community, over 1,300 global community groups worldwide, every country, every city, local leaders, truly an incredible, diverse, thriving community. And they've even done something so special, created Salesforce Saturdays. We have over 50 Salesforce Saturdays running. It's Stephanie Herrera, who's an incredible woman in tech and leader and inspiration, and her and the community. They started this, and it has continued. And this is the community coming together. And what I want to do now is share a little video about what that means.
Alone.
Disconnected.
Far apart.
Unsure of what's next.
But we are Trailblazers.
So what do?
We keep coming together.
Hello from Canberra.
Namaskar.
Hello, Chicago, Ohana.
Keep learning together.
I've learned how powerful the Salesforce platform is at connecting people anywhere.
Learn about Lightning Web Components open source.
I have learned a lot about resilience.
Keep laughing together.
Developing together.
Using code to develop real life solutions to problems.
Because really that's the power of the platform.
Dancing together.
Standing together.
No matter your ethnicity, your religion, the Trailblazer community is a place where you can find people who will support you.
Making change together.
Every day, in so many ways, we Trailblazers are making change happen. For our communities, for ourselves, for our companies, and for each other.
We can be anywhere in the world, supporting each other, learning, collaborating, building a brighter future together.
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 Sat.
جميعا.
Juntos.
Together.
Together.
Ensemble.
Zusammen.
Together.
Okay, I get like chill bumps every time I watch that video, because it just so encapsulates what is so powerful and special about community coming together, especially in times of need. And all of you watching, all of you that run incredible communities, you know this, you feel this every day, how important, how connected, how special it is when the community comes together. And even though we can't be together physically, we can still be together in this digital world. And it's so special that CMX has this opportunity for us. And when we come together, we can deliver innovation, inspire the next generation, break down barriers to education. And I'm so proud to say that we can champion equality for all and build an equitable and an ethical world together. And so what I want to do now is share a few stories of not what we're doing, but what our community is doing. And it's things that I think that we can all learn from, because a lot of times when we're alone and not together, you know, we get scared, we get anxious that we're not making an impact or we're not capable of doing something. And by leaning into the community and sharing these stories, we can all be inspired that we can do it too. This is a story of Jeff Berger, who's an incredible trailblazer, and he has done an incredible job delivering innovation. He works at a small bank, Academy Bank, and when the crisis happened and they had to administer the PPP loans here in the United States, they had all these manual processes. And he talked to the team and he said, I can do this. I can automate this for you, because we have to process these loans for our community. Our people need money to be able to keep their businesses afloat. And within just a few hours, he was able to build an app that made a solution that helped them process billions of dollars of loans. And he just stood up and said, you know, I'm going to volunteer. I can do this for you, and I can innovate. And that is so special and so powerful. And it's a behavior that when you're leading a community, you want to empower them to know you can innovate and you can make a difference. Another story that I just, Aaron, I love him so much. What an incredible inspiration to all. Aaron had a criminal justice degree, and he was a security guard, and he found himself in a place where he wasn't having the job he needed and the income he needed to be able to have his, you know, life that he aspired to be. He felt he could be something so impactful in this world. And he heard about Salesforce, heard he could, you know, learn that technology. He went to Trailhead, he skilled up, he got his badges, he got his certs, and he found his way from knowing nothing to being an incredible consultant at one of the world-class consultant agencies in the world, moved himself to Chicago, and got an incredible and blossoming career. And not only has he gotten this career, but he was in the paper in his hometown. He was on the cover of the Wall Street Journal. He was, or the Financial Times, I forget which one. He's so famous that he's like on all the newspapers and he's inspiring everybody with his story. Because a lot of people, they may think, I can't be something that I can't see in this world. And he is an incredible leader in tech. He is an incredible representation of what you can be without having a computer science degree, coming from any background, from any race, any gender, any location. It doesn't matter. You have the power within you to do it. And he showed everybody that you can. And that is just such an inspiration that he has left. The other thing that's very important with you in your communities is to inspire them to just break down barriers and to go out there and evangelize and to share and to help people follow their dreams and to answer their questions. We have a program within the Salesforce Trailblazer community that our incredible leader, Leah McGowan-Hare, who's I think speaking later tomorrow as well, plug there for her. And she created this incredible program called BAM, which is Be a Multiplier, the acronym for it. And it's so fun. Like you can just be like, bam, you know, go be a multiplier, go get out there. Doesn't matter if you're going to your church, your book club, your school, your neighbor's house. it's our responsibility to help others know that they can break down barriers and achieve things together. And so BAM is an event, it's a community muscle that everybody can build, where what you do is you empower people to go and host their own events, which share how much innovation or how much impact people can have. And it's interesting how a lot of times people want to do it, but they don't know if they can, or they don't think that they can. But just being given some simple tools helps them really have that multiplier effect. Because if 10 people tell 10 people tell 10 people 10 times something, you end up with exponentially like 10 million people impacted by something which is just as small as like talking to 10 people. So breaking down barriers by being a multiplier yourself. And if I haven't said this enough during this talk, it is so important, so important to foster diversity and inclusion. It's also very important to learn, to open your mind and understand what privileges that you may have that you may not realize. It's something that I've especially learned this year, learning what privileges I may have. And as a white cisgender female in the United States, I have a lot of privileges that I took for granted. Even as of recently, I live in Oakland, California. Clean air, breathing clean air was a privilege that I did not understand how much impact that had on my life that I had. And it's really important that you foster this sense of diversity, that you open your mind to understand, that you make people feel included, you give them a sense of belonging. You ask questions, you want to understand, and you listen. They can tell you something like, hey, this, they can tell you something that you can listen to and then maybe change, because we're all learning together. And that's the great thing about diversity, is we bring diverse opinions, and we should all respect and listen to each other and treat each other with respect and fairness. And you can do this on Trailhead. We wanted to help everybody learn how to have ally strategies, how to champion each other. And so this is a trail on Trailhead, which is very easy to take around equality ally strategies. And especially as community leaders, it really helps you in leading community groups and having those diverse, inclusive conversations that cultivate a sense of belonging. We want to make sure that it's easy for you to blaze trails with your community. And I shared just a few stories today, like of Jeff Berger, who's an incredible innovation, or he delivered incredible innovation, and Erin McGriff, who's just such an inspiration, and tools that you can use, whether it's a multiplier type program to break down barriers, or whether it's learning how to foster diversity and inclusion. Take that trail, that equality ally strategies trail, because that's the way that you can really build that sense. And together, when you do all of these things, you tell people they can innovate, you help them, empower them to innovate, you empower them, you celebrate stories from people from all walks of life, so people can be what they can see, help them break down those barriers. That's really how you create that incredible sense of energy and community. And the last thing, one more thing, I love these. Don't ever get done. I mean, that was, I was raised in Virginia, and my mother taught me there's nothing a smile can't fix. As bad as things may seem, we still have our breath, we still have each other, we still have our ability to smile and laugh and have fun together. And our community is known, we do a little bit of Chris Duarte, if you know her, we do a little bit of bedazzling. I've got my bedazzled cuffs here. I don't know if you can see them on the screen. I had to wear those to bring the fun, and just bring that fun, that energy, that spirit, that mojo, and don't be afraid to take yourself, don't take yourself too seriously with your community. Be vulnerable, be real, be authentic, and just have a little fun. And keep learning with us. I've given a few shout outs to some people like Leah McGowan Hare, who's the incredible leader of our Trailblazer community. But here, we have so more people on our team, whether it's Alex or Jessica or Sophia or Tiffany or Kendall, Mallory, Amanda, Lizzie. You can hear from all of them tomorrow. There's our sessions on the main stage, on the club stage, and you can hear directly from them, because these are the people that are out there every day engaging with our community and just making it magical for everyone. And with that, I want to thank you all for joining me for the presentation. And I believe, Beth, we have a few minutes for questions.
We do. Thank you so much. I love your cuffs. I can't believe that we don't have bedazzled CMX cuffs, but maybe next year we will.
I think you need to
yes. We do have some time for some questions. I would love to start by just asking more of a personal question. How do you think being so tightly connected to the community helped you grow as a leader at Salesforce?
Beth, it's a great question because the community is definitely a big part of my personal and professional growth. At Salesforce, I started as a senior manager, and now I have a long title with a lot of words in it. And it really is because when you lean into the community, you learn what they need. You hear the truth about what your products need. You hear the truth about what you need to, where you need to go, what they want to hear from you. And that knowledge, when you bring it back to the company and you say, hey, we really need this feature, or we really need to go to this city, is very valuable. And it enables you to navigate, your career internally as well, because you have that voice of the customer inside you. And also, it really connects you to the job in a way that those who know me know how much I love my job. I love our community. I love what we do. And having that personal connection to the work, knowing that if we're going to build a feature that is going to help Aaron McGriff have a better life, like that's a personal connection for me that really roots me and motivates me every day.
I love that. I love that you have your community is like your secret weapon. When people ask questions, you're like, oh, we should use this feature. And they know that you're brilliant because all the people want that.
Yeah, it's their brilliant, not mine.
Okay, another question. What has been kind of the hardest or easiest thing about leading your team and community through these tough times that we've been having the last few months?
The hardest thing has absolutely been not seeing everyone. We are so used to in-person events. We are so used to having fun together. We're so used to getting in rooms and thinking of surprise and delight that as a team we can deliver to the community. And that sense of physical connectedness, losing that has been hard. Because even if we didn't live in the same city, we could travel. We could go see them. It was always something very exciting to look forward to. And but it has also been, in this time, the most uplifting thing is that we can share that with each other. We can share how much we miss each other, and we find ways to still connect. So I think it's been hard, but it's also been powerful. But just simply not being able to go to London and see how people are doing there, because otherwise we get time difference between ourselves, and it gets harder to have that connection in a global community. Our community in India, they're like, come here, and like I can't wait. I can't wait. So I think that's been the hardest thing.
Fair. We do have a few more minutes, but I just have one more question for you. So what advice would you give someone who wants to implement diversity and inclusion strategies into their own community, but doesn't know where to start? I think at this point, we all know how important it is, how necessary it is, but what advice would you give someone who's kind of overwhelmed by where to begin?
It's a great question. And we do have, at Salesforce, we have created a trail to help people learn. You can learn on your own. So you're not embarrassed if you are trying to learn something that you might not know about. But my advice would be to find somebody that you can have as a trusted, like a truth teller, and be willing to listen to the truth. And so if you look at your materials, what photos do you have? What are you showcasing people from different walks of life? And that truth teller can help you walk through in a way that you may have you may have some rose-colored glasses on where you're not seeing the picture that you're painting externally. So I think it's really important to bring those diverse diverse viewpoints to the table to talk with you and to truth tell with you, and for you to be willing to listen. Something as simple as saying like, hey, you guys, you you may not realize that you say it all the time, but it's casting a gender stereotype, for example. So you have to be willing to listen and be willing to learn, and just be vulnerable would be my advice, because it is something that is so important. And it's so important that you just recognize that you have to listen and learn and bring your authentic self.
Well, what I've heard today is that you have to listen to people, and I feel like that is some wonderful advice. Listen and actually listen.
Yeah, sometimes people feel like, oh, we always have to talk, or we always have to, have an answer, where a lot of times you just need to listen and recognize, oh, I didn't know that. And by simply saying, I didn't know that before, and now I'm learning about it, is very powerful, because it shows that you're open. And we need to do that more than ever in these times. And that's why I thank you so much for having this conference, so impactful and powerful and important for communities. Community has never been important, and it's important that everybody builds diverse and inclusive communities.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much for coming. Huge standing ovation for Sarah. It's always such a pleasure to have you on our stage.